Good evening, ladies and degents. NFL Week 2 picks coming up now, folks. I'm one half of the Distinguished Degents Money Mansmann, also known as the CLV King, because my closing line value sucks. With,
Self-dubbed.
with me, as always, the real hero of the Distinguished Degents, my man, Big Bucks Beyta. What's up, Big Bucks? How you doing?
Hey man, what's going on? I'm doing a lot better this week than I thought going into last week, considering I went piss poor on the 1:00 games. But I did rebound nicely, like we mentioned on the recap episode. Check that out currently on YouTube and Spotify right now, folks, if you have not checked that out yet. Money Mansmann, CLV King, this poor bastard. We handicapped the game.
I lost 2 bets by half a point last night. That happened.
We literally handicapped the game. And I'm kicking myself in the foot because for those of you who didn't catch the recap, albeit brief, I was worried about the 7-point spread. And I actually vocalized that very clearly that I thought the Eagles would win this single-handedly, but I just had a bad feeling. And sure as shit, what I did was I made my best bet of that game, Eagles -4.5. And boy, did I suck out of that one too. 61 yards, Jake Elliott. He's the real hero, if you ask me.
If he hit the 55-yarder, I would have won. I mean, there were about, let's say, how could I have won? Jake Elliott hits the 55-yarder. I win my first half bet. The Eagles get a fumble. They recover a fumble. They're going to win the game, except it's called back because of an offsides penalty.
A.J. Brown gets a touchdown or had a touchdown. Yeah. That was not called pass interference.
Yeah. A.J. Brown has a pass interference touchdown. The Eagles have a touchdown called back because of a holding penalty. The Eagles are driving to score. They get sacked twice to kick them out of field goal range. So basically, I had like 5 times where I should have won, and I didn't. And that's why you'll see behind me, in honor of the Bills, there we go. We're going with the big head Bills background.
Yeah, and just to break it even with you, I don't know how the hell you did that, but I just
you just got to back up. Go away from your camera. Just back up.
Look, there we go. Yep. And there's my lovely Broncos fans. Just
depressed Broncos fans.
Just watching another ugly Russell Wilson game.
I guess we shouldn't call them depressed Broncos fans because that's the only type of Broncos fans there are. Just depressed ones.
That's unfortunate. But anyways, before we get started, though, I kind of wanted to talk to you about this breaking news that came out. Your Buffalo Bills owner, Terry Pegula, named in a lawsuit. According to the lawsuit from a former NFL media journalist, he said, and I quote, "If the black players don't like it here, they should go back to Africa and see how bad it is," in response to the racial protests throughout the league. Money Mansmann, in your legal expertise, how fucked is he?
That's where we're at right now.
Oof.
Yeah, that's
another L.
Not what we want to hear as Bills fans, not what you want to see. And then, I don't know if anyone else heard, you have first the Terry Pegula news that comes out, which is just, if he said it, it's fucking horrible. And the guy should be forced to sell his team because no place in the game for that.
No.
And then, so that's bad enough. But you know what? It's a lawsuit. You know, I think the guy got like fired from the NFL, so you never know. Maybe he's just making shit up. Who knows?
Gotcha.
Oh, it gets worse for the Bills. Maddie Glab.
Any
Bills fans out there, you know who Maddie Glab is. She's like a sort of like Bills, like media personality that does stuff on social media for those uninitiated into the mafia. She gets caught on a hot mic basically saying, now, she claims it was done in jest, but basically saying that Stephon Diggs is a total asshole who, you know, won't talk to the media and will say fuck you to your face. And it's going so bad.
From my understanding, it was something, the way she was trying to interpret it was like,
he does.
I think she was trying to, It was something like she was trying to build rapport with the other reporters, and they asked her to go get Stefon Diggs, and she was just like basically just talking shit. Not like supposedly towards Diggs, but just like, oh, dude, no, he's gonna tell me to fuck off. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about who I am. That's supposedly the interpretation I heard, but yeah, that is not just the L to the Jets, but 2 more L's on top of that. Not what you
I'm
want to
waiting for the interpretation of Terry Pagula's comments.
see. Yeah, I was gonna say at least Maddie Glob, at least she came out with an apology and like owned it, you know.
Yeah, well. Oh my God. I mean, honestly, just trade Stephon Diggs at this point. It's okay. Josh
Yeah,
Allen's gonna throw it into triple coverage anyway. It doesn't matter who the receiver is. So it's getting bad,
yeah,
man. It's getting really bad for us.
that's
Really
scary.
bad.
All right, man. But with that said, my only comments, I concur with what you say. If what he said is true, he doesn't belong in the league. It might be the Donald Sterling of this league, you know, I guess to give you that comparison. Although Jerry Jones, which is odd, Jerry Jones said something too in that same lawsuit, not nearly to that level. I think Jerry said something to the effects of like, if they hate it, why don't they just get together and buy a team? Which, lo and behold, Magic Johnson and group did buy the Commanders, which, you know, not maybe because it wasn't nearly as bad, maybe because it did sort of happen. But that's also getting swept under the rug, which I thought was weird. So we'll see down the line what happens with this lawsuit. We know with the Brian Flores situation, that just kind of also got swept under the rug, like everything else in the NFL. So
Yeah, they'll settle. They'll settle. So.
hopefully so. With that said, though, I'm ready for week 2. Time moves on. So does the league.
Please. I can't think about the first 17 games of this NFL season. So let's get into it.
All right, and for those of you that didn't catch, we did our Thursday episode and our recap a couple days ago. We're going to go over all the Sunday games. We are going to go over the Monday night games. That is a plural. I had to make sure, double check. There is 2 Monday night games. And just to give you all a heads up, when I was originally doing my handicapping, a lot of my best bets kind of got flipped and moved around at the last minute because there was some last minute line movement, some due to injury, some due to other announcements. So just bear with me, folks, on my best bets as we go through these and bear through some of these handicaps. But one more topic, Jason. Last week you said it would have been the most profitable week 1. But this is your week, buddy. This is what we dub Overreaction Sunday. And give the folks a little bit of an idea of not only why this is your favorite week, but what Overreaction Sunday really means.
Oh, yeah, baby. This is when all the teams that played really bad week 1 and played really good week 1 get pounded by the market. And I like to take advantage of those, love to bet against the overreactions. And I'll tell you, there's a few. I know I said it with the Eagles, so I'm a little more hesitant than I've been in years past. There's a couple lines on this card that, if you think about it, make no sense even a little. And I am prepared to take advantage of those. So,
amen to that. All right, so let's jump into this game. We got the first game, odds presented by FanDuel. And with that said, game 1 on the FanDuel slate, it's the Green Bay Packers coming off the win against Chicago. They're traveling to Atlanta, who was also coming off a win against Carolina. Green Bay originally opened as a -1 favorite, now +1.5, +108 on the money line. Falcons are -126 home favorites now. Over-unders at 40.5. And I think I went the last time when we talked about the Philly Eagles, so I guess I'll go first here.
yeah, sure.
All right, so don't get me wrong, because I'm really not trying to overreact already. And especially over this Packers team who, let's be honest, they beat the shit out of the Bears.
What else?
That's what Green Bay does. They own the Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, now Jordan Love are co-owners of the Chicago Bears. But on the other hand, what the fuck is going on with this line? Atlanta and Green Bay, let's start with that. It's only a 1.5 difference. Did anybody actually watch the Atlanta-Carolina game? I know Atlanta won 24-10. Of course we did. Atlanta was not beating Carolina. Like, they were not beating their breaks off. That was actually like a really close game up until the fourth quarter. And then it just sort of got out of hand. Why are we pretending that Atlanta... First of all, why are we pretending Atlanta's going to win? I've heard a couple sharps go out there, and Atlanta just seems to be the sharp Cinderella darling this year. I still don't see it. Desmond Ridder can't throw. And say what you will about Jordan Love. At least he can throw. I saw him throw 2 touchdowns to Romeo Doubs, 2 more than I saw Desmond Ridder ever do. Like, we're really acting like, even though Desmond Ridder, we're really going to act like the fact that he's undefeated at home is a tangible fact. Like, he's not lost at home, but he hasn't really played anybody. Like,
he played 5 games in his career, and
he played Tampa Bay's backups, Arizona, Carolina, and maybe the Saints. I can't really remember.
And remember, you have the trend last week too at Atlanta, rookie quarterback week 1, where I think they're
you fade the rookie quarterback week 1.
Like 1-19 now.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I can't believe I
now, don't get me wrong. If Aaron Jones doesn't play, this line makes more sense. But I think Aaron Jones, he's listed as questionable. I don't think he practiced today, but Christian Watson did practice in a limited fashion. So I think both of them actually have a good chance at showing up for this game.
And even if Aaron Jones is AJ Dillon could cook too.
And if you remember, I forget how many yards. I'd have to pull it up. They held Chicago's rush defense pretty respectably, all things considered. I know Justin Fields loves to rush for, over 100 yards, but I think he was only held to like 76 or something like that. It was a relatively shockingly low number.
And how much of that was garbage time? Yeah,
exactly. And Aaron Jones, 2 games in Atlanta, he's rushed over 70 yards in both games, had a touchdown in each game as well. If it's not him, A.J. Dillon's going to go off. I don't see where the play with Atlanta is here. And now, mind you, I had these numbers when they were underdogs, which is when they opened. That's why I'm a little messed up here. But, yeah, when they were underdogs, 0-6 straight up, 1-5 ATS. They're actually, but even that, they're the worst team to bet on after they win. 4-13 straight up, 5-11 and 1 ATS since 2020. So I just think for people who think Atlanta's the real deal, like, they have not been watching Desmond Ridder not be a quarterback. And I'll end it with this. And I said this last week. Your whole team cannot be the running back committee. You need a quarterback who can throw. I learned that with the Atlanta game, but I also learned that with Jordan Love. I saw Jordan Love make some passes. He doesn't have to rely on Aaron Jones, and what happened? They balled out against Chicago. And I actually expect the fact that I got 1.5 points and the fact that I'm getting plus money on Green Bay, asinine. So Green Bay is the play. Money Mansmann, your handicap.
Yeah. Just to add a little bit to your numbers, something I just saw now, because like you said, was looking at it a lot when the line was flipped. Green Bay 5 straight as an underdog after a win. So they're very good as underdogs after wins. 5 straight covers on that end. We're going to start the show off strong. Best bet, Green Bay Packers. I liked it. I can't believe this. I liked it at -1. I told you I've been down on this Atlanta Falcons team. I do not think they're good at all. And this to me just looked like a complete sort of like mismatch. I think Green Bay showed a lot last week against the Bears. And mind you, I was sort of against Green Bay, but I really liked how Jordan Love looked. I think the Packers defense is solid. And this is more a fate of Atlanta. Like, we watched the Atlanta Carolina game. Bryce Young, couple interceptions, rookie quarterback, couldn't move the ball. Like, this Green Bay Packers team is going to be better than Carolina was. And yeah, I'm not afraid of the Dome. I'm not afraid of Atlanta. Desmond Ridder, not sold on him as an NFL quarterback. Nothing in week 1 changed that for me. Like what I saw from Green Bay. And yeah, in terms of the card itself, I mean, there's other bets I like, but this to me, I think this is a great spot for Green Bay. I'm looking
Wow.
to fade Atlanta. Best bet, Green Bay Packers now at plus 1.5. And I actually have a
That's
money line
insane
bet
because
there.
they were my favorite. They were my favorite of the week when I originally handicapped it, but the line flipped. So, and then I was considering the dog idea. So, like, I just kind of removed that as a best bet altogether. But I've already played this game. I took it at Green Bay +1 because I actually got better odds at that than I did the money line, if you could freaking believe it. A pro tip, and I really emphasize it for weeks like today, like this week. Shop around the markets because you're going to see different books have the same numbers but different odds. FanDuel and DraftKings, prime example, both of them have Dallas at -8.5, but FanDuel has better odds on that line compared to DraftKings, where DraftKings, I think it was -110, but FanDuel had it -105. That could be the difference, especially if you do parlays here and there, or even round robins or teasers. That can make or break the difference as to whether you're actually getting decent closing line value, and also whether you're going to get extra money for doing the same play. But just to end this game, Green Bay held Chicago to 122 rushing yards. They held Justin Fields to 59, not 76. And yeah, I mean, the fact that people think that, it's going to be a Bijan Tyler Algier committee because Algier went off. Like I said, it was a new head coach, new defensive coordinator, rookie quarterback. They only won 24-10, and it was a game that was awfully close. And meanwhile, Green Bay looked absolutely, all things considered, they looked perfect. So co-sign with you on that Green Bay play, obviously, and was my best bet.
Yeah. And just real quick, over under. I like the
Yes.
over in this game in the dome. I think Green Bay could score in this game. And then maybe like last week, I think they might get up by 2 touchdowns. Maybe Atlanta gets a couple, like a couple late scores to make it look prettier than it is. But the trend lines don't support it. The stat that I saw was Falcons, 6 of their last 7 home games have gone under, strangely enough. But I actually like the over in this game.
I do like the over as well, but it feels like a 31-10 kind of situation, maybe a 31-13. I don't think it's going to look prettier towards the end like the Atlanta-Carolina game. I think this could be like 24-0 by halftime, and then maybe they get one more, and then they just kill clock. Atlanta, Tyler Algier or Bijan breaks one off, gets a highlight reel, calls it a day.
Can't win if you can't throw. So, yeah.
Exactly. That's the handicap. Can't win if you can't throw. And speaking of can't throw, we're going to the next game. The Chicago Bears and Justin Fields coming off that loss, traveling to Tampa Bay as 2.5-point road dogs, plus 130 on the line, minus 154 for the Bucks. Over under also at 40.5 right now, which it looks like it may have dropped from 41.5. I think it opened, let's see. I think it opened at 42. It opened at 43. It's now 40.5. So we've lost 2.5 points already on that over-under. Money Mansmann, your turn.
Yeah, tough one because I really want to fade Tampa Bay, and I just couldn't get there. Like, if I have to make a play here, I'll go, at 3. I think at 2.5, my play would probably be Tampa. As you could see with the spread, I really don't like this game because I want to fade Tampa. I don't think they're that good. I don't really think they should have beaten Minnesota. I don't like Baker Mayfield, but I can't get behind the Bears. I think their defense is just god awful. And, Justin Fields is just a fantasy quarterback. He goes, he runs, he'll get you some fantasy points, but he's not a winner. And to think that they're going to go on the road to Tampa and win the game, like, they can win with someone else's money, then they're not going to win with mine. So yeah, really want to fade Tampa here, but at less than a field goal, I could just see Tampa pulling this out. Their defense getting a few turnovers and then pulling it out by about 6. So Tampa Bay, but low confidence.
Yeah, low confidence game for me too. Last week I had the paradox games where there was just two games. One trend went one way, one trend went another. This week, these are the shit games. These are games I could give two less fucks about. I don't want to watch them. There's nothing enticing about it as an NFL fan in general. Shit week game number one, Chicago and Tampa Bay. And this is oddly enough, on top of that, this is Baker Mayfield's first home game as an NFC quarterback since his time in Carolina.
Oh, wow. That's odd. Yeah, I guess he didn't play at home with the Rams. Okay.
I don't think he did. Or if he did, maybe it was the Denver game, and we're not going to talk about that, but that's okay.
So, yeah. Brief handicap there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he won his home opener, but then he lost the next two. I mentioned in the last episode, Baker sucks against the NFC, and he still didn't look that great against Minnesota either. 21 for 34, 173 passing yards. Why this is a shit game? I'm being asked to back Justin Fields, who, yeah, he sucks. He's not good. He's in his third year now.
I think he's still the worst spread quarterback in football.
Yeah, he literally. I'm not fucking with you when I say this. He averages a win a year against the NFC. As a Chicago Bears quarterback, he averages one win against the NFC per year.
That's so bad.
He is 2-17, and he's never beaten the NFC on the road. They failed to cover 4 straight on the road. They failed to cover their last 4 outright. They've only gone 2-9 ATS in like their last 11. And their 11-game losing streak here. So, I'm not going to overreact here and be like Baker Mayfield played like shit. They shouldn't have won. Chicago looked okay against Green Bay. They lost. Now they're going to come back. No, I don't see it. That's wrong. I refuse to take the Bears. Although, I hear the arguments that, this would be the game that Justin Fields wins. I disagree with that notion. I'm taking the Bucks. Bucks -2.5, -152. I'm going all the way there. Over under 40.5. I'm going to say Bears 5 last of 6 road games have hit the over. The Bears offense last week, ironically enough, did show signs of life. Tampa's defense. Yeah, I think it's a garbage time play because Tampa's defense could be the demise of this handicap. They held Kirk Cousins to 16. And then you looked at him this past Thursday, and Kirk Cousins got 4 fucking touchdowns against Philly. So makes you really wonder if it was Tampa's defense or if Kirk Cousins just had a bad game. So meeting in the middle, it's 40.5. I lean over just based on prior precedents with the
Bears. So starting the show off strong, over under play of the week, over. Bears, besides just the road plays, 9 of the last 12 have gone over. Bears defense is just dreadful. I mean, I think this game's going to go way over because, I could see Tampa alone on offense getting 28. This defense has sucked for a while. They have nobody. They are really fucking bad. And I think Tampa could get 28. And, I could see the Bears breaking a big run here or there. But more importantly, with the turnovers, it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa gets a short field defensive touchdown. The number's not that high. I think this is going to go over. Green Bay, Chicago was a dead over game last week, and I could see this being a dead over game as well. So actually, strangely enough, my favorite over-under play was over in this game.
And think of it this way too, guys. If you are backing some of the sharps who hate Jordan Love in Green Bay, you have to think of the Chicago team that they gave up 38 to Jordan Love. So, and on top of that, the handicap at -2.5. The only thing I would think of too, and this is also why I love your overplay, if it's not a blowout and this is a close type game, that means both offenses are going.
Good point. Yeah.
I don't see Chicago taking a big lead here. I don't think they've ever had like a big lead blowout game situation ever. It's usually like a back and forth shootout type game. I mean,
Let's
even
be
with
honest,
the Bears
if
and
Chicago gets up 35-0, they'll give up 28 on the other side. Like, it's going to happen.
Well, remember the Bears and Lions game? What was it, last year or 2 years ago, where that was a shootout that went like 45 apiece, something crazy like that? Like, that's the type of game you have to expect if you actually think Chicago's going to show up. So
Dallas, I think it was like 40-33, something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the overplay is the best play for this game. I'm with you on that. All right, so far we're in lockstep. Game 3, Seattle Seahawks coming off that loss to the LA Rams and Matt Stafford. 4.5-point road dogs, plus 188. They're traveling to Detroit, minus 225, home favorites. Over under 47.5. And speaking of the closing line value king, Money Mansmann, hate to tell you this, but the line opened at 6. It's now down to 4.5. Some books might have it at 5 if you're lucky.
Well, how do you know? I mean, maybe I like Detroit in this game.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we saw this game before. Last season, week 4. And in case you forgot, the Seahawks beat the Lions. It was 48-45. They were 3.5-point road dogs. We were getting them at 5.5. Last year, it was 3.5. So you're meeting me in the middle at 4.5. What's changed? I guess Detroit learned how to win under Dan Campbell. They have covered 5 straight at home. They are 4-1 straight up. But let's take a closer look at these 5 games. They beat Green Bay Sunday night as a home dog, 15-9. They lost to Buffalo. They covered, but that was also that weird spot for Buffalo because they had to go to Detroit to play Cleveland the week before. Mm-hmm. And it was Thanksgiving. They ended up covering and winning against Minnesota Vikings, who Sharps are down on. They beat Jacksonville at home. They beat Chicago at home. And then the Seahawks, on the other hand, they started off strong last season, but they struggled on the road towards the end, 1-3 straight up, 0-4 ATS in their last 4 road games. But let's look at who they lost to. Tom Brady in Tampa and Germany. The Rams, who they always seem to struggle against. And then Kansas City and San Francisco. The top 2 of the top 5 NFL teams of the season. I don't know if you see where I'm trying to go with this yet. But just bottom line, looking at the Seahawks loss to the Rams, they lost to Matt Stafford. Last season, they didn't play him. So whether it was an underestimation, whether Matt Stafford came back and just balled out like he usually did, like, I called that to begin with. I had a feeling the Rams would win and cover anyways. Let's look at the Lions win. The Lions are literally coming off their Super Bowl. They beat the Chiefs without Chris Jones on defense and Travis Kelce. And the only reason they really won was because all their wide receivers kept dropping passes. And by all their wide receivers, I mean Kadarius Toney. I was looking to fade the Lions, and the more I think about this game, this is the spot. They've lost 5 straight to Seattle. In this millennia, 9 games total, they've won once. And this is like a trend follower. I think this one's going to profit nicely at 2-1 money line. So my play, Seattle plus the points, and I'm actually going to take Seattle on the money line as well.
Endorse 3 for 3. This is like my patented week 2 play. You have a team that basically gets embarrassed against the team it struggles against all the time. We've now learned, I guess I didn't realize last week, stupidly, we've now learned that Sean McVay just is, the Seahawks daddy. They get embarrassed. The Lions win their Super Bowl in Kansas City. This is like the perfect letdown spot for the Lions. Here, this will show you how bad this is. According to DK, also called donkey bettors. 82% of the bets are on the Lions.
You're kidding.
I was sort of middling in the middle with Seattle. This might be like a teaser play for me, but Seattle plus the points is where I'm going. And yeah, I just looked now; it's confirmed. 82% of the bets on the Detroit Lions, America's team, the Detroit Lions.
That's absurd.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I
think a lot of
teased. I did a teaser.
Seahawks.
I teased the Seahawks when they were at 5.5 in a parlay, so I'm glad I jumped on that and got them at 11.5. Whereas now you would get it 10.5.
Yeah. And
But let's say, but
I think I'm going to tease with the over because remember that game was high scoring before, and obviously I think the Seahawks, I think their offense is going to get it together. They're going to be in the dome, so I'm looking at the over here.
Yeah. So, Christ, what was I was going to say something to get to the point. Oh yeah, three points for the money line and the spread before we get to the over under. When should Detroit ever be a 4.5 point home favorite? When should they ever be getting 80% of the money? And
that's too high.
Yeah, that's absurd, especially to a team they've never beaten.
Yeah, look at some of these numbers. First off, the Seahawks 5 straight covers against. I think it's. Oh no, they're 4 straight covers against the Lions. And listen to these scores. I think this is a Seahawks over dead nuts play. Listen to these scores: 48-45 Seattle, 51-29, 28-14, and this is I think this is pre-Stafford. So really the last two have gone over easily, and then 28-14, 26-6, so under before that. But the last two, you're looking at 90 point, 80 to 90 point games.
Yeah, well, I lost my best bet of the week with Green Bay. I didn't lose my over of the week. This is my overplay. Detroit, if you remember last season too at home, very high over team at home, 6-3. And I just expect a similar type matchup as last year. Detroit's run defense did look good in comparison to Seattle's, but they're going to be in the dome. I think Geno's going to be able to throw it a lot better. I don't think he's going to be pass rushed as hard. If you actually watch clips with the Kansas City Detroit game, Christ, what's that? Their one D lineman's name, Hutchinson. Hutchinson got held pretty good for the most part. I know Kansas City had the false start a lot with the half-second jump. But, he held – if it worked and he didn't get called, he held him pretty good. I don't think Hutchinson really got too many sacks out there last I checked. So, I think Geno will perform a lot better here. This is an overplay without a doubt. Over of the week. All right. Let's get into it, Mansmann. This is your team coming up. Buffalo Bills, -8.5 point home favorites, -390. They're hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, who are coming off a gutsy 17-16 win against the Broncos. And let me just get out of the way. And there we go. Just my face the whole time I'm watching the game. All right. And over-unders at 47. Raiders are plus 310 dog. And Mr. Mansmann, I believe it's your turn.
Is it? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Your Buffalo Bills. Will they win and cover?
If I had balls and it wasn't my team, my dog of the week would be the Raiders.
What?
Bills had I can't.
Go get a paper bag right now. Just go get the bag.
The Bills, first off, the preseason was terrible for them. Their quarterback might have a concussion. He might be brain dead. He might be brain dead. And our owner is racist. We have a reporter who's probably going to lose her job.
He's allegedly racist.
Allegedly racist.
He allegedly also hired a body double for DeMar Hamlin.
We couldn't stop Breece Hall. I mean, are we going to stop Josh Jacobs? Are we going to be able to like talk? Josh Jacobs is going to run for $150. You know that's happening. Yeah, I have no confidence in this team. And the line's 8.5. Like, really? What a joke.
It went down. It was actually, I think, a 10.
Yeah, I know. That's how stupid that was. The Bills shouldn't be 10-point favorites in anything. Maybe in like court cases against, maybe in games before they trade their star wide receiver. Like, yeah, no. This team's terrible. Sharps, I've heard a couple sort of like people picking the Bills. I don't get it.
Okay, I'll interrupt you here. Your Bills are not horrible. Josh Allen played like pigeon shit. That's the takeaway.
Do you think he's going to play better this week?
I think he will, but and this is why.
By the way, just before you do this, I just want to let you know, I heard on another podcast, since he's come into the league, Josh Allen has committed the most turnovers at the quarterback position in football. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, here's the takeaway. It's Josh played like pigeon shit. He looked really bad. There's no hiding that. Your Bills defense, though, like and again, I know the whole Zach Wilson situation. I know Breece Hall had a game. You still held them to 17, or God, I forgot what was it, 16? Yeah, like it was a really low scoring, close game until that punt return. And like to lose on a punt return, like how often does that really happen? I know Josh got the ball first. I know he went 3 and out. Like Josh played like shit.
0-5 in his career in overtime.
Yeah, he lost you that game. That there's no denying that. But your Bills defense played really fucking lights out, if you ask me. And despite the Breece Hall breakout, I doubt that happens twice. That's my thinking. Because the Bills, I mean, how many times have we gone through this where the Bills lose a bad game, you're pissed off, you're half drunk, you break something, and then the next week they kill the team like 40-7. And to me, this just feels like a bounce back Josh Allen game where, and especially again, prime week 2 overreaction game. The Raiders are coming off a road win in Denver against a team they always beat as the Las Vegas Raiders. And now they have to go to Buffalo in Buffalo's home debut. And literally when it comes to like bounce back games, the Bills are the second best, at least according to team rankings. 13-5 straight up, 10-6-2 ATS since I think 2021. And Josh Allen, if you remember, he's actually really good against the AFC West in the regular season. Even if you eliminate the Chiefs from that equation and just do the Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos, 4-1 straight up in ATS. And if you think the Raiders stand a chance and banking on the Bills having another bad game and Josh Allen turning the ball over 4 times, I think if you're a Raiders fan with Jimmy G, with the way he played last week on the road, now having to go to East Coast, you kind of need that same type of game with Josh Allen. And I think with the way he went last week, he's going to play either a lot more conservative or they're going to have a whole different plan for this Raiders team and they're just going to go off either way. That or the defense is just going to have to step up even harder. But it's Jimmy G. It's not Zach Wilson. Not that fucking helps you, but
in all seriousness,
I like the Bills money line. I'll start there.
Yeah, I guess I'll say this. Yeah, I mean, putting sort of the hyperbole aside, I just think the game's really sort of unbettable because you're probably right. Like Raiders coming off the, I guess, underdog win against Denver. The Bills look bad. The line's just way too hot. Like this Bills team is so, you have no idea what you're going to get from this team. And I mean, I think Josh could turn it over another 4 times this weekend. Like that's my biggest problem is he looked so incredibly bad on like Monday Night Football. I have no idea what you're going to get. Like he might turn the ball over 4 times in the first half.
He also might get 4 rushing touchdowns. You just it could go the other way.
This line's like unbettable to me.
But. Yeah, now that's my money line play, but the spread I'm bouncing back and forth. So I'll throw this out there. Get your thoughts. We'll go from there. I like Bills to win. Jimmy G though, and a lot of these are his times with the Niners. So again, take it with a grain of salt. He's a road warrior. He's won 4 of his last 5. He's 19-6 straight up since 2019 on the road. Raiders, even without Jimmy G, they covered as road dogs under Josh McDaniels, 4-2 ATS. They won 3 of their last 4 straight up as road underdogs. And I think it just comes down to, like, if you really do believe you're getting the bad Bills, Bills have gone 1-4 ATS as home favorites in their last 5. In games with a spread of 8 and more, the Bills only went 4-4 ATS. For me, if this was closer to 10, I'd be leaning with you and saying I'd risk taking the Raiders. This line's gone down to 8.5. I don't like the public side on the Raiders against the Bills ever. I don't know why I would like it now, despite the Bills looking, not even the Bills looking bad, Josh Allen looking bad. I think if Josh even plays half as conservative, they're going to blow this Raiders team out. So, yeah, I again, strong lean. I actually threw this in a teaser because my rules with teasers, I have to like the team to win first before I even try to tease it. So I would put the Bills minus 8.5 in a teaser. I would tease it down to 2.5.
And you're on the public side, according to DK, 88% of the bets on the Bills.
Ooh, that's not good.
80.
All right. Over under play, I actually lean under because this could be Jimmy G struggling against another tough AFC defense. You saw what happened with the Broncos, and they barely got 17. Took a 4th quarter drive at the last second. I don't think Josh is going to turn it over 4 times. Truth be told, I really he could. I don't think he will. And I think if you saw what Russell Wilson did to the Raiders, even with the dinking and dunking, which Josh can do just perfectly fine, I would say even better than Russ. He'll get more than 178 passing yards. He'll take off for 40, 50-yard, scrambles and then get hit by 3 guys in the head and then go back to the huddle.
And then throw a freaking 60-yard bomb to the end zone in triple coverage.
Yeah, it's a hard play, but this is my first underplay for the card.
Under as well. I could see the Raiders trying to ground and pound, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills. I wonder if they're going to come out with a conservative game plan because of all the turnovers. So under as well, endorse. God, we've been on are we ever going to fight? You said we were going to fight.
I really thought we were going to fight. Maybe that comes later.
Well, hopefully, I don't know.
Maybe it comes later. Maybe it comes now. We'll pause. All right, and of course I went to that game. Sorry, folks, bear with me. Here we go. No, we don't. Son of a bitch. I can tell you the next game. It's the LA Chargers. They're traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Here we go. Titans 2.5-point home underdogs, plus 124. Chargers minus 146. Both coming off losses. And over-unders at 45.5. Money Mansmann. Oh, wait. It's my turn, actually. Money Mansmann, how good are the Titans as home dogs?
I have a feeling they're very good, right? They got a good Don't they have a good record with Vrabel?
4-1 straight up in ATS.
Yep, I thought so.
4-0 with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. How good are the Titans against the AFC West?
Pretty good, I'm assuming.
Same thing, 4-0-1 ATS against the AFC West, at least in their last 5. But, yeah, that changes this week.
Oh, I'm surprised.
That changes. I know this is premature. This is where the overreaction starts happening. The Titans are done being a powerhouse of the NFL. I'm hopping off the train. I'm done. I'm down on Ryan Tannehill. I can't back him here. I wanted to. I really tried. I know a lot of the sharps like the Titans this week. I can't get on it. Tannehill threw 3 picks to the Saints and had zero offense.
He looked like Josh Allen. He looked worse than Josh Allen. That's how bad.
Yeah, he was bad. It wasn't just the 3 picks. No touchdowns. Barely any passing yards either. At least Josh made some scrambles and made some plays here and there to keep. He did the 2-minute drive to get the field goal. So did Tannehill, but literally, how bad do you have to be where Vrabel, instead of going for it on 4th, kicks the field goal so you get the cover?
Kicks the field goal with 2 minutes left.
And Vrabel had money on that game. I have a feeling.
I swear to God.
Yeah, here's my thing. I know I picked the Titans as my dog of the week last week. I might still be pissed off that they lost, but I don't see where you're going to back Tannehill here against a Chargers team who I fucking hate them too. I hate that blonde-haired bitch, fucking Justin Herbert. I really fucking can't stand him. But he plays good. That's the fucking problem. My overreaction, Justin Herbert should have won last week. His defense fucking blows. The Titans got 0 offense. DeAndre Hopkins might not even be playing.
Let's just say it's a big downgrade in class for the Chargers defense from Miami to Tennessee.
Unfortunately, yes. And until Ryan Tannehill learns how to throw again, I don't think he's bettable. So I'm fading history. I'm probably fading the sharps too, which that never ends in success, but I'm fucking doing it. No, Chargers -2.5.
Yeah. So this is, I'll just give you my why, and I'm shocked. I thought this was going to be something we were going to fight on, but I guess not.
I wanted to. I really wanted to pick the Titans. It's a game I'm going to cheer the Titans on. I want the Titans to beat the Chargers because I can't stand the Chargers, but do I see it happening? No.
This might be one of my contest plays, actually. In my pick contest where I went 2-3 week 1, this might be a contest play. Here's how stupid this line is. The Chargers were 3-point favorites against Miami last week. The 2.5-point favorites now against Tennessee.
Against a team that you think is a step down.
That's the handicap. I mean, it's insane. Okay, the Chargers, they lost by 2 points. I guess technically you could say they were 5 points away from covering. But they're basically they're half a point less. Now, I know the game's in Tennessee. What do the Chargers don't even have home field anyway. So what is it, like a point difference, 1.5 difference?
Tannehill's on the hot seat right now at quarterback. he might be gone halfway through the season.
This is less than a field goal, and I'm getting the same spread as the Chargers had against Miami, who Miami's a playoff team. The Titans are literally going to be starting Malik Willis or Will Levis in 2 weeks. So, yeah, that's my handicap. The Chargers are, especially at 2.5, a pretty strong play for me.
Yeah, both coming off tight losses, but let's be honest. The Titans covered, but they weren't going to. It literally came down to that Mike Vrabel thought his defense could hold Derek Carr and the Saints under 3 minutes, and he just failed. He ran out of timeouts. Time ran out. The Chargers had a chance to win. They also, I think, went 3-and-out. Or, I mean, I know they blew it on downs, and Miami ended up getting the win. Very close back and forth type game. But the difference is the Chargers, even though they don't really have defense, I know their offense is pretty much lights out. The Titans defense, I mean, they kind of kept up against a bad Derek Carr performance. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Justin Herbert's going to have a bad performance here. I think he's going to do the same shit he did last week. And this Titans team, I think, is getting very overrated here at this spot at home. And I think Sharps love it because they're a home underdog. And again, I'll be cheering for them, but they're not going to get my money. So
yeah. I think 24 gets it done for the Chargers. Although I do like, well, I mean, low confidence, but I'd play the under here. I think the Titans' last 5 have gone under. And I don't think the Chargers necessarily will put up a lot, but I mean, God.
I did lean over, but I think I'm hedging that on the contingency that DeAndre Hopkins does play. If Hopkins doesn't play, it's an under.
I mean, this could be 24-13. I mean, the Titans' offense is bad. I mean, they're real.
Yeah,
and if they have to throw, I mean, if they got to start throwing, like, no confidence, 0.
Yeah, and I got to pull up the odds real quick, but this leads into my first prop play of the week. Titans team total under. And I want to say it was like 16 or 17.5.
Ooh, that's low. Ooh.
I want to say. I could be very wrong, and I'm trying to pull it up now. So
let me see if I could find
Here we go. Titans total points. Sorry, it was 21. Oh, that was a different game I was thinking of. Yeah, under 21.5 is the team total. Wow, first prop play, minus 110.
That might be juicy. I may tell you on that.
Yeah, just because I don't see. I saw no offense against the Saints, and even if you think the Saints defense was good, like Tannehill played worse than Josh Allen, like you said.
Miami could throw. Titans can't throw.
No, I mean DeAndre Hopkins got thrown in triple coverage too. We saw how that ended. So yeah, your underplay might be better here. I do lean on the over though, and that's on the. And the other thing too is Derrick Henry. We saw what Miami did through the air. We also saw what they did on the ground. I could see Derrick Henry having a good game too.
He's getting old though, man. A lot of wear on the tires.
We'll see. All right, I think we're gonna fight about this next one. Baltimore coming off the win against Houston. They're traveling to Cincinnati, coming off that bad loss to Cleveland. Cincy's minus 3-point home favorites, minus 164. Over unders 46.5. Money Mansmann, are you backing the Ravens as a road dog, or are you taking Cincy on the bounce back?
Fading, I mean, you probably know what it's going to be if you know my week 2 strategies. Fading the hell out of Baltimore. Give me the Bengals minus 3 here. Like this play. Remember, you're going to see consistencies with a lot of these handicaps. Another one, talked about it last week, Cincinnati struggles against Cleveland, especially in Cleveland. This is something that's documented. Now, Joe Burrow didn't look great. Well, that's an understatement. The point is the Ravens didn't look great either. Lamar Jackson just sucks. Like, I think we need to establish the fact that this guy can't throw. And they did not play well against Houston at all. They got a really lucky cover. Trust me, we were both watching the game. We know there were tense moments there. And now they play real competition. Cincinnati got embarrassed last week. They're going to be at home looking for a bounce back. And I have no faith in this Ravens team at all. I think they're totally overrated. And, yeah, at a field goal, I definitely go with Cincinnati here.
Damn. Okay, so contender number 1 for my dog of the week, Baltimore Ravens. I thought you would say that. Yeah, betting against the Ravens as a dog, you're going to historically lose money. Ravens 12-3 ATS since 2020. They've actually covered 6 of their last 7 as underdogs, 8-2 ATS in their last 10. I know they went 2-8 straight up, but a lot of those games they were underdogs. That was with Tyler Huntley. Now Lamar Jackson, who's healthy. And my takeaway from the Houston game that I didn't mention in our recap episode, you have to remember Lamar's in a whole new offensive system that's not Greg Roman, where he scrambles every play and he does throw more often. And that Houston game, say what you will, I know it was close, but I just think that was the type of win we were going to get. I did expect more out of Lamar, but was I shocked it was 25-9? No. This is my overreaction, and mind you, this is a fucking stretch. I'm well aware it's a stretch. I'm getting flashbacks to Matt Stafford last year. Stafford got hurt really close to preseason. I want to say he fucked up his elbow or his shoulder. He ended up coming in for week 1 against Buffalo, got his ass beat, continued to play into October until they finally pulled him because they were already losing. There was no point in making it worse. After watching Joe Burrow last week, I'm getting the same type of vibes where Joe Burrow may not actually be 100% healthy, but he's out there because he got the bag. And, if that's his prerogative, God bless him. But I don't know if the Bengals as a home favorite against the Ravens makes too much sense. I know you're not a Lamar fan, but like I said, I think he's completely healthy. He's always been a threat to the division when he's healthy. He usually wins. 6-1 straight up as a starter against the Bengals. 2 wins in Cincinnati. And even in the 2 last games without Lamar, they still covered the spread. And that put them at 5-1 ATS in Cincinnati since 2019. And just looking at your overreaction perspective, I think it's like you said, you were underwhelmed with the performance against the Texans. They still won and covered. Even if it was ugly, they still did it. And even if the Texans are a scrappy team, so that's the other side of it. If you actually believe the Texans are scrappy and that they're actually going to step up and be better this year, wasn't that the type of game you would expect against Lamar Jackson?
That's a fair that was a fair dig because I did say that the Texans were scrappy.
Yeah, so I mean, if the Ravens won 25-9 against a scrappy defense, what are they going to do against this Bengals team who literally laid down for Deshaun Watson?
I mean, you may have convinced me to give a second look, but I don't know, man. This just seems like a real big overreaction to week 1.
Lamar 5-0 ATS against the Bengals in his last 5.
I mean, that's hard though. The spreads the last 2 times were 7.5 and 12.
I will say, in fairness to you, there was one stat that completely favors your side. Bengals coming off a loss. Second best since 2020, 8-3 straight up in ATS. So I could see either way happening, but potential dog of the week, Baltimore Ravens. They were my favorite last week. I'm switching it over to my dog.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think there's much better plays on the card. I think Seattle would have been better but that's okay.
Well, like I said, potential. Things got moved around and messed up, so yeah. Like I said, bear with me, folks. I could change the dog.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to over under play? Under 46.5 for me. I want to make sure. Yep, 46.5 is still enough. I like the under because like I said, I think with the Ravens in the new system, now they don't have J.K. Dobbins. I do think Gus Edwards is still serviceable. They have Justice Hill on the goal line. I think he'll get some scores. I don't know if Mark Andrews is due back or not. I didn't really keep track of that. But like I said, I think Joe Burrow is playing hurt. So I don't think he's going to get a lot done with Joe Mixon and with this Ravens defense who, let's be CJ Stroud too. I mean, I know you liked him over Bryce Young when we did our futures episode. So maybe that's a play into that as well, but
gotcha. Very low confidence over. I think because Bengals for the last 5 where they've been favorites, it's gone over. And sometimes they have a tendency to score a lot on the Ravens defense, but yeah.
One more thing. AFC North games, they tend to go under.
I mean, I don't have really any confidence.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, which we'll get into later. Cincy, Cleveland. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. A lot of times these games go under, and I just think this 46.5 is too high.
That's fair. I have no real big confidence on that. So, okay. Next.
All right.
We got.
Next game. All right. Cruising along. Didn't fight as bad as I thought we would, but I don't know. This is a shit game number 2.
Oh,
Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Houston Texans. Battle of the rookie quarterbacks. Houston minus 120 at home now. Colts are now plus 102. This line flipped like the Green Bay game. Houston was the home dog. It's now flipped to them as a home favorite. And it looks like 44% of the money is going to Houston, 56% to Indy. Pretty weird if you ask me. Yeah, over-under's 39.5. Yeah, shit game. Both teams coming off losses. What's your play, bud?
Oh boy. Yeah, want really nothing to do with this stupid game. I think the trend line, it's 7 of the last 8 the Colts have failed to cover against the South now. So the trend lines kind of favor Houston. Look, the garbage game of the week. This is my pass of the week, whatever you want to call it. But if I had to go, I'm going with Houston just because don't know if Richardson's 100%. And if Richardson gets knocked out early, you basically get a free roll because I don't think Indianapolis has a prayer with whatever other junk they have out there. So, yeah, Houston's at home. Colts haven't covered 7 of their last 8 against the South. Richardson may be hurt. That's it. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to go first that time, so I apologize for that. I don't know if I'm on the right side of this. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. This is a shit game. I don't care. I think I originally said Houston Texans on the upset. There's no good reason. There's no good reason, but now they're the favorite, which it's. But I'm not going to second guess it. If I like them as a dog, I should like them as a favorite. Or actually, no. I like them at +1. I guess -1 isn't really that much.
I mean, it's not really that much of a difference. Yeah.
If it was -10, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. No, Texans have been historically bad, as we know, since Deshaun Watson left. And we know they've been horrible in division games. They tied against Matt Ryan in week 1 last year. The year prior, they beat the Jags. And the Texans, shockingly enough, there's 2 home openers since Deshaun Watson left. 1-0-1.
Scrappy team.
I would argue for the Colts because of literally every other reason. And I mentioned last week they were really bad on week 1. They're also apparently really bad on road openers. 0-3-1 straight up in ATS since they lost Andrew Luck. And 5-14 ATS against their division since 2020. And I guess they're a 1-point road dog. This is a pick'em game. Like, I get it, but I'm getting a scrappy Texans or a team that sucks on the road opener and sucks against their division. Yeah, I know both rookie quarterbacks were serviceable, but I do agree Anthony Richardson's injury is a bit concerning. So my pick, Houston Texans, and I'm taking the under because there's just no fucking way I don't see 40. There's just no way.
Yeah, gotta go again, quick under, just looking for a really ugly, disgusting game.
Yeah, if Richardson can't scramble or do the play action effectively, it's going to be a real bad, ugly game.
And again, he might not even be in the game, so
that's concerning. All right, last game for the 1 o'clock, and then we'll take a short break, folks. We're just going to pause the video, and then we'll return for the 4 o'clock and the remaining games. All right, Kansas City Chiefs coming off the loss against Detroit. traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags are plus 3.5 point home dogs, plus 152. Chiefs are now minus 180. Spread is at minus 3.5. The Chiefs did get back Chris Jones. Travis Kelce does seem to be lined up to start, and it is still only a 3.5. Over under is at 51.5. So first of all, this is my advice. Kelce and Jones are back, and it's only 3.5. You may want to consider jumping on it right now.
3.5 minus 102, so you may even get 3 soon.
Yeah, and that's my good news for y'all. You're getting Chris Jones back. The Chiefs are coming off 10 days rest. They are also coming off of a loss, both of which favor Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Since their time together, 15-3 straight up after a loss, 19-6 straight up with rest advantage since 2018.
We know Andy Reid lost the bye. Yeah.
Yeah, and Travis Kelce returning, prop bet number 2. I'm going for him to get an anytime touchdown. I think they're going to miss that connection. And considering their other receivers can't catch a fucking cold if they tried, he seems to be the only reliable source. And I think you can get it right now at minus 120, maybe minus 145, something like that. And the fact that they're coming back is the good news. Here's the bad news and why I'm scared. They have to go to Jacksonville, which, say what you will, the Jags, they've got a really crazy win streak going right now. 5-0 straight up, 4-1 ATS at home in their last 5. Mahomes is undefeated against the Jags, 4-0 straight up, but he struggles to cover. 7-8 ATS. He hasn't covered 5 of the last 6 against AFC South teams. And they have to go on the road to Jacksonville, where, I mean, I couldn't even begin to list off the names. Baltimore, Dallas, the Chargers, like crazy things just happen in Jacksonville where the other team goes up quick and then Jacksonville just comes back to win. I would honestly be half tempted to play the Chiefs first half, Jags second half here, but I actually don't see the Jags winning this game. So I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking the minus 3.5. If it gets higher, I'm going to get a little concerned. I would wait to see if this goes to 3. And if it hits 3, I'll hammer it then. But I hopped on the money line at minus 150, so that was my play. But minus 180 is a bit chalky.
Yeah, it probably more of a money line play for me because I could see this being a closest sort of game. I think Kansas City needs one. I'd lean that way, especially like you said, the big numbers were Kansas City off a loss that really sort of, enthralled me with them. And supposedly Jacksonville, I don't think well, it's weird because normally people don't think of them like as good in the beginning of the year, but I think I just saw a stat when I was looking that they might have covered like 6 of their last 7 September games or something like that.
Yeah, something weird like that.
Kind of surprising. Yeah, I expect it to be a close game. I tend to sort of like the under more because I think the under I think it's still like 51. So it's
51.5.
Yeah, so that's high for me. I think this could be sort of sneakily, maybe a little bit more low scoring than you think. Jacksonville, they covered last week. Lucky cover, really shouldn't have against the bad Colts team. So, yeah, close game, not one of my high-end picks, but I think really it's Kansas City or nothing for me.
And that leads into my next best bet, under of the week, under 51.5 here. This is the highest scoring game of the week, which I thought was really, really strange. The last time these two teams played last year, it was 27-17. And I know Mahomes and Kelce are going to be back, but Kelce might be on a snap count. Jacksonville in the Indy game was awfully close. Like I said, up until the second half. Second half, Jacksonville just kind of took the lead and never gave it up. But even then, that game was not as much of a blowout as it looked. It actually was a lot closer. And this time around, I think the return of Chris Jones, he's going to get a lot more pressure than the Colts ever would against Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Cinderella. I think Cinderella's going to lose a shoe or two. Under 51.5. I don't see it getting that. I could see a Chiefs blowout, but if they're going to do a blowout, it's going to be like 35-10. It's going to be
having Jones
38-7
will be a big help. Yeah.
Yeah. So under of the week for me, at under 51.5. And I like the Chiefs to cover and win I liked it at 3.5. I think I'm still taking it. So also, did I leave that? You know what? I'll save that. That's okay. Yeah, no, under of the week. That's the move.
Okay. All right. Wow. We're through the first half of the video already. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep. Hour, 10 minutes in. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the remaining slate. We're just going to do a quick pause. All right, guys. And we're back. All right. Money Mansmann, hopefully your pee break was good. All right. Let's get on with these 4 o'clock games. But
just before we do it. Saw something online. Hilarious. Justin Jefferson at 24 years old has more career receiving yards than any Chicago Bear receiver ever. Your franchise started in 1920.
Justin Jefferson has more receiving yards. By the way, just broke the 5,000 receiving yards record. He tied it in the same amount of games.
He's playing for the wrong franchise. That's the problem. He'd be the career leader for the Bears already.
I don't know, man. Like, say what you will about Kirk Cousins. That was his quarterback the whole time. Kirk Cousins helped Justin Jefferson tie the receiving yards, for earliest to 5,000.
We could have drafted Justin Jefferson. Instead, we have Stephon Diggs. That worked out.
That's hard to really gauge. Well, we can only see.
Okay.
You'd rather have, considering Stephon Diggs wants out, I bet he would.
Oh, JJ would have like 300 fucking yards a game with the Bills. Josh would just be chucking it up to his ass all the time. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
All right. Anyways, we got 7 games left on the slate. We're into the 4 o'clock realm, Eastern Standard Time. Money Mansmann, we'll do a quick recap. I gave you my under and over pick of the week each, and my which one did I do? Yeah, I think that's it.
Dog of the week, Ravens.
Contender for dog of the week. That's.
Oh, I got him. He's waffling.
Well, I told you this at the beginning of the episode that
we disagreed on one pick. I'm shaking him.
No. It's contender. I have another one that I may like more, and that's why I might switch it.
He's shook, folks.
Oh, no. I'm still going with the Ravens. But anyways. All right, 4 o'clock slate. Here we go. It's the San Francisco 49ers, 7-point road favorites, minus 300. Over-unders at 44.5. Rams are 7-point home dogs, plus 245. And I think I made you go first twice in a row. This is my second go, so I'll go first again, then we'll go back to normal.
Yeah, it's your division, NFC West. So
yeah, I don't know if this is my division anymore. I've said this before, though. We'll say it again. If there's a division to keep an eye on the trends, folks, it's the NFC West. Things are true. Sean McVay owns Pete Carroll, and Sean McVay is Kyle Shanahan's bitch. 8 straight losses to the Niners in the regular season. 1-9 ATS since 2019. Rams have suffered through enough losses against the Niners. So in a similar type of handicap where it was Seattle and Detroit, I'm going to ask this question again. What's changed? A lot has changed, but nothing has changed at the same time, if that even makes any sense. here's what hasn't changed. The Niners are still going to be a step up in defense for Matt Stafford, especially without Cooper Kupp. I'm going to doubt that this trend changes as far as the money line. I think San Francisco will win, especially considering this time around they have Christian McCaffrey. They have a better quarterback in Brock Purdy. Although this is going to be his first game against the Rams, and I do wonder how he's going to perform in this type of environment. Supposedly, and this was a funny fact, the Niners are going to wear their home jerseys at SoFi Stadium.
I mean, there'll probably be more Niners fans than Rams fans, so.
Which is hilarious. But I think that might piss off the Rams even more. But Matt Stafford, I think, is the difference maker. Because when he's healthy and he plays, they play close. Second point, Brock Purdy's debut, having to go all the way to the East Coast in Pittsburgh. Now they have to come all the way back to West Coast and play a division rival in their stadium. And then you're going to show up wearing your home jerseys. I think is asking for a massive letdown.
Big on those home jerseys there. Interesting.
Not really. No, I just thought it was funny. The Niners have won 5 of their last 6 on the road with Purdy, 4-2 ATS. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in I think it was like 7 or 8 straight games. Besides the Eagles playoff game where he got hurt. And even forgetting the Rams for a minute, the Niners have covered 5 straight against division opponents. So yeah, this is the crazy thing. I know the trend is saying to take the Niners. If this number goes any lower, ignore this handicap. If this goes back up, hammer the Rams. Because, on top of my concerns too, this is like the week 2 handicap. I know the Rams are coming off a big win against Seattle. The Niners are coming off a big win against Pittsburgh too in their stadium. And I just don't know if they're going to go back on the road to LA, East Coast to West Coast, and just do it again the way they did against Pittsburgh. Rams have covered their last 3 as home dogs. They won their last 2 straight up. According to StatMuse, Niners have covered twice as underdogs because they won 2 times as a favorite against the Rams. So their last 4 against the Rams, 2 times they were dogs. The other times they were favorites. It was a 1.5 and 2-point spread. The highest spread they've ever had against the Rams, it was 12-21 2019. It was literally tied 7-point favorites. They won 37-34. They didn't get the cover. And I just wonder if this is going to be that type of game where Matt Stafford reminds the world he is who he is. He keeps this game close with the receivers he has. And Brock Purdy just has another average game managing 2 touchdown performance. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to get a 7-point cover. And that's just my concern with this game. And like I said, now if this goes under, I think the value will lie more in the Niners. Because I don't know if the Rams, for as many times as they lost against the Niners, if it's under a touchdown, you may get more value there. But I think at a touchdown or higher, the Rams are the play on the spread. So Rams to cover, Niners to win.
Disagree. I think anything I don't need to give the numbers. You gave them wonderfully. These NFC West trends are just too strong to really ignore. There's no point in putting money on the Rams. You might as well just, in a 16-game card, wasting money on the Rams against those trends is just almost like borderline insanity. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I saw a car outside and was very confused. Anyway, so yeah. Oh my God, stupid car distracted me. No, there's no reason to put money on the Rams here. I think 7 or under, must bet the Niners. Over 7, I think you start to think about it just because you're right. I mean, it is sort of a high spread, but there's really only one play here. It's Niners or nothing. I actually like the under because my handicap for the game, I think the Rams offense might be completely stifled in this. Like I could see the Niners winning this 26-10 and their defense just sort of taking over because they're good enough to do that even against the, I think the Rams, like, again, I don't think the Rams are as good as they were last week, and I think the Niners could stifle them. I really do.
I don't think. I mean, is SoFi Stadium a dome? It's like a half dome.
Yeah,
Something.
it's a dome. I don't
Yeah,
care.
they went to Seattle and threw up 38. Now they're coming home into essentially a dome-like arena, and you're telling me they're only going to put up 10? I highly disagree. This is a strong overplay for me. This was my other consideration for over of the week. 4 of the last 5 division games for the Niners have hit the over, and the over hit in 4 of the last 6 road division games for the Niners. Rams are 5-2 on the under as home underdogs with Matt Stafford. And like I said, I think if my handicap is any indication, I think this game's going to be very close. I think both offenses are going to excel. And I think for 45, I mean, that's a 27-20 that hits.
So here we go. Let's see. Rams week 8 last year in LA, 14 points.
That wasn't with Stafford though. That was with
week 4 in San Francisco, 9 points.
Stafford was hurt.
Conference championship game, 20 points. And they were good then. Week 18 in LA, 24 points. Week 10, 2021 in San Francisco, 10 points.
So you're telling me like Rams under. That doesn't tell me like team total unders. That tells me Rams under.
Well, I'm saying, my handicap for the under was I think the Rams I think the Rams offense will get stifled. And in that case, I think it's a strong underplay.
Yeah.
I think
I'll tell you this. I think the spread number is, to your point. I think we'll go heads up on this one. Rams total points under 18.5.
So they think the same. They think the same as me.
Yeah, Niners are 26.5. So yeah, I think they're.
That's a little high. God, I'd be tempted, and
I might play the Rams over.
Yeah, maybe you want to play Niners.
Because I think they could get 20.
Well, it's not hard to do that in today's league.
Well, that's my point. And you have a healthy Matt Stafford. I mean, look what he did with Tutu Atwell and some dude from Hawaii. Like, with all due respect to him, nothing personal.
Again, Seahawks defense and the Niners. I don't know, man. Maybe it's an overreaction. I might be falling in the overreaction trap. I think the overreaction's on the Rams side. I don't think they're as good as they look last week.
And I think it's on the Niners side. And I will say
the Niners do that before. I haven't seen the Rams do that.
I tend to be good with these games, just so you know. I tend to be on this.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I'm terrible with the NFC West.
As I say, we can go heads up on the spread if you want.
No, because I'm not, especially now at 7.5. I'm not.
No, it's 7.
It's actually 7. It turned 7.5 while I was looking at it. 7.5.
FanDuel right now it shows me 7, but I'll refresh.
I don't really. Sure. I'm not a huge this isn't going to be a contest play. It's not one of my top 5 probably.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
You know me with the NFC West, man. I probably shouldn't play it. I may end up putting money on it, but I really shouldn't.
That's fair. Maybe see where the public side is and go from there.
No, I don't want to. Niners, 92% of the bets. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God! Give me the Rams.
I can't. I can't. I don't know if
I might lock that. I'm locking that up. I think I have to lock that up right now.
It's 7.5. You should actually lock it up. 7.5 now.
I might
7.5 minus 118
on DK.
DK, yeah.
Oh,
8%. 8% on the Rams. That's crazy.
Oh, I think I have to lock that up. Yeah, that's confirmed. I'm gonna have to do that now. I'll introduce the next game while I do that, and you can give me your handicap.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The New York Bums. I'm sorry, the Midgets. I'm sorry. I mean, the Giants are going up against Midget boy. Oh wait, he's hurt. So It's Joshua Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals. 4.5-point home dogs, plus 184. Giants are minus 220 road favorites. Over under. I thought this number was weird too. 39.5. All right. Well, we know the Giants got shut out Sunday night. Cardinals lost a close one to the Commies last week against Sam Howell. What is going to be your takeaway from this one, Money Mansmann?
So, for the life of me, I can't figure out. Talk about like Overreaction Sunday. The Giants, well, there's one trend that's bad in this game. The Cardinals, I think it's where's the number? Let me see if I could find the number. Crap, I don't have it on here. Hold on one. Oh, geez. Sorry, everybody. I want to find the exact number. The one thing that scares me about this game is that the Cardinals have covered 8 straight games against the NFC East. I don't know why that is. It's a very weird stat, but there you go. 8 straight against the NFC East. Other than that, I don't know why this number is what it is. The Washington Commies were 7-point favorites last week against this Cardinals team. Now, they didn't cover. The Giants are only like 4.5 to 4. Again, like the Giants are a better team than the Commies, I think. And I know they got their doors blown off by Dallas, but seems like a really big downgrade to me. I don't really understand the number. I love the Giants in this spot to get the bounce back because I don't think the Cardinals are nearly as good as Dallas is. And, I mean, this is the type of team, especially going after a loss. They got embarrassed. Daboll's going to have them ready to play. I could see the Giants sort of imposing their will on, let's be honest, the Cardinals offense that scored 9 points last week. I mean, they got a touchdown because Dobbs dropped the ball on the 2-yard line. I mean, that was pretty much it. So give me the Giants in this one, and I'm fairly confident about this cover.
Okay. So, yeah. Fade of the week. Welcome to Daniel Jones Sucks Island. I'm going to be your ambassador to Stupidsville City. My pick, Cardinals plus 4.5.
Oh, heads up. Heads up, definitely.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is going to be one of your worst picks.
No. You need to hear me out.
This is going to be really bad.
Okay. I'm double check this number for me. Because I don't. What's the handle right now on the G-Men to cover?
Oh, percent bets. Let's see. Hold on. According to DK, 79.
There you go. Why is Daniel Jones a guy who's 0-6 against the NFC West? And the Cardinals, who are really good ATS against this division, not only a 4.5-point favorite, why is he getting a majority of the handle? That is fucking straight up Chewbacca for me. It doesn't make sense. And they've won, the Cardinals organization as a whole, with and without Kyler, they've won 4 straight against the Giants. They're 8-0 ATS against the East since 2019, like you mentioned. I shit you not, Money Mansmann. The Giants have been road favorites 3 times with Daniel Jones. They won once. Sorry, correction. They covered once. This, I know 4.5 is like, it does seem a little low. Did the Giants have an O-line last week? I don't think they did.
No, they
didn't.
Last
I checked.
They were playing Dallas, though. Think competition matters?
I mean, I'm not saying competition matters, but I mean, you look at the fucking sack rate. Like Sam Howell, I think he got sacked I'm looking right now. He got sacked 6 times against this Cardinals defense.
That is a concern. That's a concern.
I'm not saying that Arizona is like the best team in the NFL. Like they were projected to be the worst.
No, they were the worst.
Joshua Dobbs was like at least serviceable at quarterback. He kept the game respectable.
9 points.
he was respectable. I mean, he kept it close. They could have won. Daniel Jones had no chance in hell with that O-line. I'm not even going to say that it's fully his fault. I'm not going to like shit on him too bad. Like, I mean, if I only had 2 seconds to figure out what to do with my life, I'd probably do the same thing he did and crumble and fall and take a dive every time myself. But I mean, Arizona's defense, I mean, look what they did to Sam Howell. And then look what Dallas did to Daniel Jones and just put 2 and 2 together. On top of the fact that, like, and again, it's a weird stat. We don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Arizona beats the Giants. Arizona covers against NFC East teams. So I'm not going to pick them to win, but this to me just seems like a game that's going to be stupidly close for no reason. And Cardinals plus 4.5. Like that's enough points for me to
This is our first Cinnerator bet of the year, I think. I'll even give you the 4. It's actually 4 on DraftKings now, but I'll even give you.
It's 4.5 on FanDuel.
I'll give you the 4.5. Cinnerator 4.5. Let's do it.
All right, I'll lock. Damn, you're that confident. So for the record, folks, this is a new season. We have to explain the Cinnerator bet. For those of you that have not had the pleasure of taking a shot of Cinnerator cinnamon whiskey, imagine Fireball, but it's on steroids and it's 93 proof.
And it's disgusting.
And it's literal cinnamon cough medicine.
It is not like Fireball. Fireball has
sugar. Like it makes it sweet to make it like cinnamon candy. This shit is like cinnamon cough syrup.
Yeah. Why get drunk when you can get incinerated?
Yeah. All right, fuck it. You know what? It's early in the season. Let's do it. 4.5. I'll take it. And
then the next handicap video, the loser will down there.
Yeah, we'll start off the recap with Cinnerator shot.
The recap. Okay, gotcha.
We'll start off the recap. Yeah, no, we'll do a Cinnerator. I'll bet that. I'm comfortable. I think Arizona could cover.
That might be a contest play for me, actually.
Good luck to you. All right.
Wow.
Anything else about that? Oh, over under. I lean under 39.5 here. Because I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna I think he's gonna have a similar type game with Dallas. I don't think now with the turnovers, I don't know as much, but could I see third and 4, 3rd and 5, he gets sacked every other play? Yeah. And it's just, punt. I could see this being a very boring type backup quarterback type play.
Yeah.
So under 39.5.
I endorse that. I endorse that under, definitely. Don't see a lot of scoring in this game.
No. All right. Here we go. It's the first of 2 non-conference games this week. The New York Jetropolitans. Yeah, rest in peace, Jets. They had a season.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be back.
He'll be back in some capacity. I don't know what capacity.
He'll be back on the sidelines, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Jets 8.5-point road dogs plus 330. You broke the news earlier. They're looking to hire Brett Rippon at backup quarterback. Zach Wilson currently is the starter. They're 330 road dogs. Dallas coming off the shutout against the Giants, -8.5, -420. Over under down to 38.5. Money Mansmann. Oh wait, is it my turn?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Last I checked, the Cowboys have won 8 in a row at home. They're 6-2 ATS. Last I checked with the Jets, Zach Wilson still sucks. They've lost 5 straight road games, 1-4 ATS. This could be the ultimate overreaction game. And literally the ultimate overreaction is the Jets lost Aaron Rodgers. They're doomed. So with that said, they got to win against Josh Allen because it was handed to him on a silver platter. This line was at 10 Now it's at 8.5. I like this number at 10. I thought it was asinine. It wasn't like 30 minus 30. This like last week I had a ladder bet game with the Ravens that I could have done. I didn't end up doing it because of the promo they gave me. This week I might ladder bet the Dallas Cowboys up to like 14.5, maybe 17, just to see. Because Zach Wilson didn't really play that great. If you saw that game. And now, again, the ultimate overreaction. Dallas played lights out. Are they going to fuck up this week? Against probably, let's be honest, a way better defense. Zach Wilson's O-line struggled a lot against the front four in Buffalo, and Dallas's front four is like probably number one.
Probably better, yeah.
How do the Cowboys not cover this, Money Mansmann? I don't see how they don't. Like, it convince me, please. Like, while I got to go get my charger real quick. So convince me while
I'll convince you while you're away. This is a low confidence game for me because, God, doesn't this feel like one of those Dallas games where they come off a really big win and then they lay an egg and play terrible, and Dak Prescott sort of has 2 stupid turnovers and the game is close? Like, I have no confidence in this game just because of the height of the line and knowing Dallas as well as I do. But, I mean, I can't argue with a Dallas play because it's just what a terrible, terrible spot. Zach Wilson, first road start of the year, all of the questions that are going to be asked, and you have to go against a team that just obliterated the Giants last week. They're going to get after them. They're going to be chasing them all game long. And, yeah, just really a horrible spot for the Jets. So I can't argue with the spread play. I'm going to sit this one out just because I'm very scared that, like, Dallas's offense is just going to go and do nothing. And you're going to look up, and it's going to be like 10-3 Dallas in the third quarter or something like stupid like that. And you're just sort of going to be like, how the hell did this happen?
I mean, but in fairness, though, like, even if Dak doesn't perform as well, say the defense, like, I don't see how the defense doesn't shut down Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, I don't think the Jets are going to score.
That's my thing. Like, this could be a 17-3 ugly game, but that covers. That covers the 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, 12. Like, do you see where I'm trying to, like, make that argument? Where
No, I mean, I get your argument. What scares me is just I've seen a couple times where Dallas has come out flat as a pancake. And I could see Dallas coming out flat as a pancake. Or I could see,
look, but your arguments to me,
Cowboys, like,
your arguments to me point towards the under.
I would play the under. I would lean to the under if it wasn't so freaking low. It's like so low.
That's where I'm at. 39.5. Dallas could hit that on their own.
I mean, yeah, what if Zach Wilson starts like doing a Josh Allen and turns the ball over? It could be 24-0, and then the defense could just give up.
Yeah, Jets 3-6 under on the road last season. There's 6 of their last 7 road games did hit the under. Yeah, everything says to take the under, but I'm with you. Like, Dallas could hit this on their own. Dallas's last 5 home games also all hit the over. They're 5-2 over as home favorites last year.
This just seems like such a Barney Bester. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this with other like Bills games. I've seen this with God, who was it? Maybe it was not Detroit, but God, I'm trying to think. Who the hell? Philly. Philly was one, like Barney Besters, where you were just like, the spread's high, but
this feels like a Barney Bester to me.
Yeah, Barney Bester for those out there. That's when you get a high public bet spread, but it's literally too good. Like, you don't
think of your friend Barney has one too many drinks and is literally like, oh man, you need to bet the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? We should bet that -17.
Oh yeah, we them boys. I tell you what.
Yeah, we them boys. We beat the Giants 40-0.
I will say this too. If the number had kept going up, I might have heard your point. The number's gone down. It was 10 at one point. It's now 8.5.
Yeah, that's the one thing in your favor. Like, it's going the other way.
Which I already bet that, so I don't have to rush and do that. By the way,
The
confirmed.
pros jumped on the Jets. I wonder if that's why the line's gone down.
Maybe that or it's sympathy bets for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Aaron Rodgers put out like an advertisement. Just don't give your money to the IRS. Put your money on FanDuel and put it towards the Jet spread.
Maybe you could write it off as taxes. I don't know.
I don't know. What an ugly sort of game. Anyways, speaking of ugly games, just ugliness all around. The Commies, the other non-conference game. The Commies are going to Denver. They're coming in as 3.5-point road dogs. They're plus 158. The over/under is 38.5. Broncos are minus 188. Please go first, for the love of God.
Please,
before I get mad, but just
yeah, okay.
I'm not excited for this. I know there's other people, and now, mind you, I'll preface it with this. I have a bet with some people at work over our next happy hour bar tab. So,
on this game,
yes.
Well, we're probably gonna fight about this.
All right, here we go.
Co-best bet. Denver Broncos minus 3.5.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, no.
4 straight covers as favorites against the NFC. Washington, 6 straight failed covers on the road in September. Bro, this Washington team, we saw it last week. They're fucking dreadful, bro.
That's not an overreaction.
I know.
Maybe Arizona knows what they're doing.
I know Denver has struggled against the Raiders. Still has not.
Whoa! Stop! No, just the Raiders. The Broncos have only struggled against the Raiders. They haven't struggled against every other team. They haven't struggled for the past 5 seasons.
With Nathaniel Hackett, they struggled. Bro, I don't know how they lose. Come on, bro. They could win this game by 20. I don't know how Washington's going to score. I mean, you saw Sam Howell last week. He's dreadful. Washington's terrible. Denver, this is a prime bounce back opportunity for the Broncos. Now, the 3.5, was I a little scared? Maybe for half a second. I think Denver wins this comfortably. This is the game. This is one of Denver's 6 wins on the year. I mean, this is just prime. Washington has no business being. It's a 1-0 team versus an 0-1 team. Washington won a home game. They got to go cross country to Denver. I think Denver's defense could win this alone, and I think this is going to be 23-6. Denver's going to roll in this.
Oh, God.
Let's ride, Broncos country. Let's ride.
Do you want this? Should I just try to?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, here. Just take the hat. Just
let's ride.
Yeah, if I had any balls, and if it wasn't my team, this would have been also my best bet. I also would have taken the Broncos.
There we go.
Here's why I did. Now here's why. Last week, all 3 NFC teams not only covered their non-conference road games, they won. This could possibly be 4. And that's my problem. Normally I fade the non-conference teams. I know that's a prime handicap that I love to do. But last week that bit me in the ass. And I'm just worried with a Denver team who barely, let's be honest, I know they were up 16-10, but the fucking coaching, and I said this in the recap, what the fuck was Nathaniel Hackett doing calling an onside kick first fucking play?
I swear to God.
Giving up a touchdown because of that drive.
I swear to God.
The kicker missing an extra point was bad.
If he does it again, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
It's shit like that is the reason we lost. Not because Will Lutz missed a field goal and because of kick. Think of it. You don't do that onside kick you might hold the Raiders. They don't get a touchdown that drive. It's a low-scoring game, but you win. It's an ugly game, but you win. No, they get 7 points because of that, and now you lose. I'm concerned that this is going to be a similar type situation. The Broncos will go into a game where they're expected to win, their favorites, and something in the coaching or something's going to go wrong, and they're just going to find a way to fuck it up. If Denver doesn't get out of their own way, though, and they do stay consistent, -3.5 is not going to be an issue. They have a very weird history with NFC teams, and actually especially against Washington, because while Denver did lose a Super Bowl to them back in 88, fast forwarding to this millennia, 3-3 straight up. They've won 4 in a row at home against Washington. They last beat them in 2021. The Broncos in general against the NFC at home, they're really, really good. 4-1 straight up in ATS. And kind of like what you said, Sam Howell in the preseason, he was a preseason darling. He looked like dog shit against the Cardinals. I think the Broncos are a lot higher of a step up on defense compared to the Arizona Cardinals. Although I did call it out that with Buda Baker returning and the Cardinals defense, that they actually might surprise some people and keep it competitive. The Broncos were arguably one of the top 5 defenses last year. I may have been wrong in my preseason assessment that with Vance Joseph as their coordinator, that they would give up more points than they were used to and make some bad plays. Devontae Adams and Pat Surtain too, I think held Devontae Adams to less than 60 yards.
Yeah.
On like the 5 plays where they were man-to-man, I think Devontae got 1 or 2 or something. Long story short, Devontae Adams did not have a big game against Denver like he usually did because Denver's defense stepped up. And especially because they're at home. Yeah, Broncos -3.5 in the money line. I'm going on them again. They better not disappoint me. They better not fuck this up. They better not call an onside kick first fucking play. Like, can we get a normal fucking head coach for once? Like, that's all I want. I just want normal head coaching. Like, do what Vrabel does. If you lose because you kick a field goal with 3.5 minutes left to let your defense go, I'll be mad we lost, but I'll say, you know what? We had 3.5 minutes. We had 3 timeouts. That was worth a gamble. You know, can we get that? You know, instead of taking 2 minutes to kick a 64-yard field goal, you know.
I swear to God, if he does another onside kick, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah. On underplay here, not only did all 4 non-conference road teams win and cover, they actually all got the under as well. And between the commies and Sam Howell blowing dick and the Broncos' lack of offense, but their defense is still halfway decent, I don't know if either team gets past 17, let alone 20. So under 38.5 for me. But what I will say, and this was a prop I discovered, thought it was really low, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on this one. Russell Wilson over 222.5 passing yards. He did a lot of dinking and ducking, a lot of screen passes for not a lot of yards, but he had a lot of completions. You actually look at his last 4 home games prior to that, he excelled this number by 40, 50 yards. And Chase Young, although he is returning, he's going to be on a snap count. So,
yeah, I'm not scared of him. Close. I think it'll be close. I don't know because I could just see Denver being able to like sit on the game. I think defensively, I really think like if I was going to play a prop, it'd probably be like a team total under for Washington because I think Denver's defense is going to take control of this game.
I can pull that up real quick.
I have no faith in Sam Howell against this defense. None. 0. Jimmy G scored 17. Like Sam Howell, he'll be looking to score 10.
I mean, did Jimmy G score 17 or did the Broncos give up 17? I mean, well, yeah. Broncos over under 21.5. I'd be tempted to take that under.
What's Washington's?
17.5.
Oh, Ooh, that's juicy. Under 17.5 might be a interesting play there.
Well, there you go. All right. Any other final thoughts on that game?
Nope. I like Denver. Let's go, baby.
Right.
We're gonna ride. We're gonna be very happy. 4:00, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
We got it.
We'll be halfway drunk, if not fully drunk, and ready to break shift for that game. All right. Sunday night, Miami Dolphins travel to the New England Patriots, coming off the big win against the Chargers. Dolphins coming off the win. Dolphins -3, -162, over under 46.5. The New England Patriots are 3-point home dogs, +136 on Sunday Night Football with Mac Jones. Money Mansmann is deferred here. It is actually my go.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, battle of the Bama quarterbacks. I mean, I was actually kind of excited for this at first, and then I realized we had to watch Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones. And so I decided
in this game.
Huh?
Will Tua get concussed in this game?
Yeah, and I looked into the stats, and Tua's undefeated against Bill Belichick. 4-0 straight up in ATS. Dolphins have covered 4 straight against the AFC East, 5 straight against the Pats. And prior to the injury woes, Tua was actually really good in prime time. He had 1 win on Monday Night Football, a couple Saturday games, and 1 Thursday night. He won those, and then he got injured against Cincy. Yeah, Mac Jones. Here's a hint, and I said this about Zach Wilson. I'll remind you again. Mac Jones in primetime, terrible. This guy sucks. I'll remind you one more time, and I'll remind the world. This guy sucks in primetime. 1-3 last season in primetime games. He won his Monday Night Football matchup against the Cardinals, by the way, who did not have Kyler Murray for that game. The year before that, his rookie season, he went 2-3, including an 8-15 playoff loss to the Buffalo Bills. Combined, he's 3-6 straight up. Yeah, maybe it's a system play, and I don't know if this is an overreaction to the Dolphins last week against the Chargers. The way I see that game, though, was that the Chargers did exactly what I thought they would on offense with Kellen Moore. And then, no shit. There you are. You still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking at you frozen on the screen. You're looking up very intently.
I am.
You look like that could be on like a presidential poster right there.
There you go. All right, getting to my point. Hopefully we get back here. Yeah, it's a system play. I don't know how else you do it. It's only 3 points. Best bet, favorite of the week, Miami Dolphins.
Can't argue with it. I endorse this one. The numbers, Dolphins against the Patriots. Remember, Belichick's always seemed to struggle against Miami, and nothing's really changed since the new quarterbacks have come in. One other stat, just to add, this was a big one for me. 6 straight failed covers as, I guess Big Bucks is gone here. 6 straight road covers or 6 straight failed covers as underdogs for the New England Patriots. So one more time, because I said it wrong. 6 straight times as the underdogs failed to cover. I agree with Big Bucks 100%. Little nervous like him, afraid that this might be sort of a failed sort of system play. Maybe afraid of, backing a team on an overreaction. But yeah, I will go with Big Bucks, endorse Miami Dolphins minus the 3 points. So that's what I'll go with. And I think we're probably all right. We're back. Sorry about
You're on mute, bud.
Sorry about that.
There we go. All right, we're back. That's
technical
strange.
difficulties. I just finished the Miami pick. So
we'll do some. We'll edit this out and just bring us back in. So
we're still live. Oh right, over under for this one.
Yeah, we're at the over under Miami Dolphins New England game. Over under 46.5.
Yeah, I will go over. I expect Miami to continue to be explosive. And the over really, I mean, it was 45 points Patriots Eagles last week in the rain. So I could definitely see there being some scoring here. Expect a high flying game. Miami, I think, is going to be a dead over team all year. So give me the over.
Yeah, I wanted to say I originally picked the under here, but the more reason being a lot of the Sunday night football games tend to hit the under. Last week, for example, I know it was kind of a crazy circumstance with the Giants getting shut out, but that was 40-0 the under hit. And actually, I want to say it was the last 6 straight Sunday night football games have all hit the under. I do think we're due for an over game. 46.5. I mean, like I said, I lean under, but I could totally see your dead over team. Like that could happen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the under here only because I'm concerned about New England. I don't know what they're going to do.
Fair.
But if Miami defense does suck, this is a dead over. And so, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, Miami's defense, I'm concerned about them. We're gonna go over. I think you convinced me.
I like Ramondre Stevenson in this game because they got gouged on the ground by the Chargers. Ramondre's on my fantasy team. He's in the starting lineup.
Well, that's why you like Ramondre. I mean, let's be honest.
I like them to get – I might even play a prop over rushing yards because I could – again, last week, 200 rushing yards for the Chargers, I think. So, yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, something like that. It was crazy, but all right, we're into
right. So I'm here. He's having technical difficulties again. He'll probably try and come back. Let's introduce this game. Saints Panthers. Spread is Saints -3. This is the most updated on DraftKings. Over under at 40. Money line -155 for the Saints, +130 for the Panthers. While he's trying to get back, I'll give my handicap on this game. Love the Saints here. This same handicap as I did with the Chargers. The Saints were a 3-point favorite last week against the Tennessee Titans. Now, Tennessee did not look well. They did not play a good game. They are not nearly as bad as this Panthers team. Bryce Young, rookie quarterback, trying to figure it out. He had 2 bad turnovers against Atlanta last week. Monday Night Football. Don't like this spot. Like this spot for the Saints defense. Really tough game for the kid Bryce Young here. Spread is far too low at -3. I think this is a dead Saints play. You know me. I bet the Saints over for the year. Earlier in the season, got a heads up bet with Big Bucks there. Love the Saints in this spot -3. Basically the same spread as the Titans. I know they didn't cover last week, but the Panthers are much sort of much lesser competition than the Panthers. So I gave my handicap while you were figuring it out. So yeah,
no, I'm just gonna hide my face in shame because I have no fucking idea what the fuck is going on. But also,
Saints Panthers. The spread is 3. What do you got?
I'm warning you. I hate this handicap. And I'm going to kick myself square in the nuts if this goes the wrong way. There's only one play, and I hate to say it, but it is the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so much pointing towards taking Carolina. For instance, Derek Carr, how bad he looked last week. And I think the Panthers at least are going to play on par with, the Titans, or it's going to be a step down. And now, mind you, Derek Carr is a Raider. 4 road Monday Night Football matchups. He's 1-3 straight up. He lost his last 4 as a road favorite. Lost 5 of his last 6 as a road favorite as well. I'll throw in some Saints stats in there as well. They've lost 2 in a row against Carolina as road favorites. They're 5-10 and 1 ATS after a win since 2021, since Drew Brees left. So betting on them to win 2 in a row tends to be not a good bet. It's about 1 in every 3. Saints are 1-3 straight up on Monday Night Football. They've lost 3 in a row. My problem is Bryce Young, and I may have been wrong about him in my off-season early handicap. He had a pretty tough outing against Atlanta, and he got picked off twice, and he was left with only 150 passing yards. The Saints have lost 3 of their last 4 with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston at quarterback, and they lost to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. So don't get me wrong. I've seen crazier things happen, obviously, but Carolina is just as bad after a loss. They're 8-3 straight up in ATS after a loss since 2021. This is also the first Monday night game for the Panthers since 2018. I don't think this game has any business being a Monday night game. I was shocked to see this was a Monday night game.
Yeah, weird doubleheader. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, they lost 12-9 to the Saints the last time they were on Monday night. This just looks eerily reminiscent of that kind of game. This is going to be a low-scoring, dreadful, pathetic performance. And I hate to say it, but Derek Carr, the veteran, versus Bryce Young, the rookie, I think Derek Carr. I would still take Derek Carr in that instance, but barely.
I take the Saints. I take the Saints defense. This is Saints under. I think this is a dead Saints under play.
Saints under parlay. Yeah, I'm with you there. I have under as well. Like, there's just Derek Carr might be the only one who throws a touchdown. He also might be the one to throw up 4 interceptions. Like, I just don't know what he's going to do. But Saints under, that would be my parlay prop. That I like to throw one out every week. So Saints under parlay prop, that I would do Saints money line. I don't know if I would do 3 minus 162 versus the 3. I mean, you might as well just take the money line. Saints money line under, which I
endorse. Yeah. And just while you're doing that, my handicap for the most part was Saints were -3 against Tennessee last week. They're -3 against Carolina this week after they won the game.
Oh, and it's a step down. So what are we doing?
Makes no sense. Yeah.
Saints money line under 42-1. Yeah, that's going to be a bet. That I'm going to hammer that after this episode. Yep. All right, last game. Let's hopefully we get through this without the technical difficulties. I'm going to have to do some editing after this episode. God help me. All right, here we go. Cleveland traveling to Pittsburgh. Cleveland is 2.5-point road favorites, -146. Over-unders 38.5. Pittsburgh coming off that brutal loss to the Steelers. They're +124 on the money line. Mansmann, take this however you want. This was my other contender for dog of the week. Say what you will. This is either fading the Browns after a big win and backing the Steelers after a big loss. Simply, this could be I don't know if it's a Barney Bester because it's an underdog play, so that wouldn't apply. But Cleveland hasn't won in Pittsburgh in the regular season since 2003. Mm-hmm. Now they're all of a sudden a favorite. I'm still not sold on Deshaun Watson. I don't think he makes a difference for this team. I don't know if you want to play the Steelers as a home dog angle because they're 7-2-1 ATS. The Browns as a public play, does that make any sense? No.
Yeah, 74%.
Deshaun Watson. No, they're not good. Deshaun Watson threw like one of the ugliest interceptions I've seen in the past 2 seasons. Like literally play action on the run, which is supposed to be his specialty last I checked. He's supposed to be a scrambler. And literally just lobs it straight to the fucking Cincinnati Bengals defender. Unbelievable. Pittsburgh opened as a -1-point favorite. Now they're a dog. I would have picked Pittsburgh -1 anyways. Now I get plus money. Like, let's fucking go. Like, that's just too easy. I'm not saying it's too easy, but why are people jumping on the Browns? I don't get it. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin 6-2 straight up on Monday Night Football. Cleveland 2-4 ATS on Monday night in their last 6. Yeah, no, give me this. This probably should be my dog of the week. Pittsburgh +2.5, +110.
So, Steve, I haven't given you my dog of the week yet, have I?
Oh, you fucker. No, you didn't.
Double dog, doubling down, second week in a row. Let's hope it goes better. Pittsburgh Steelers, dog of the week.
I didn't even realize you got me. That was good.
Think about it. Same handicap, like obviously everything you said, 100%. The history's there for the Steelers. The overreaction is there. Cleveland looked really good last week. The Steelers looked
No,
terrible.
they didn't. Stop. No, Cleveland did not look good
Well,
last week.
their defense.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals looked horrible. That's the narrative. Yeah. Cleveland didn't look good.
The same thing as the other Monday night game. Pittsburgh was a 2.5-point dog to San Francisco. Now, I know they got blown out. There's going to be a bit of a downgrade, but Cleveland's the same spread this week. I mean, it's real simple to me. Like, unless the line was so incredibly wrong week 1. And I don't believe that because they have all year to put out the week 1 lines. Unless the Pittsburgh was so completely overrated week 1, there's just nothing to explain how they're this big of an underdog to Cleveland.
Unless it's a preseason situation where, because some of these lines came out preseason, and if Pittsburgh, let's be honest, Kenny Pickett was a preseason darling, so maybe this line isn't, because again, this line opened as Pittsburgh -1. Now it's +2.5. So what I think this is the public side overreacting to Cleveland, and also overreacting to Pittsburgh.
I mean, the fact that it moved 3 points from open to me is just crazy. And Cleveland never wins in this spot. And you're going to give, the Steelers again. I think it's more so that the Steelers just got beat by a really good team. So yeah, I'm rolling with them again. Double dog. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And over underplay Money Mansmann, over under 38.5. Where are you at?
Yeah. Tough because it's a low number, but I think I'm going to go under again. I got to lean to the under just because, again, AFC North battle could see a lot of sort of running game, a lot of defense. I think the Steelers are going to pull it out. I really do. But, I could see 20-10, 23-10, 23-13, something really low like that. So I'd lean to the under, but not, super confident.
Yeah.
It's a low number.
Yeah. All right. That is all 16 games for the week. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the end, folks. Like I said, I'll let it.
But we made it through.
We did make it through. All right, time to give out best bets, locks, underdogs, and I'm thinking for this week, the Distinguished Degents Corporation Parlay.
Ooh.
All right, Money Mansmann. I'll kick the. You know what? I'll kick this off. All right. Yeah, I can't. I can't do 2 dogs. I got to remove the Ravens as my dog of the week. Double dog of the week, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, okay. He's
got to do it. I have to do it. Best bet, Miami Dolphins -3. Fade of the week, New York Giants Arizona Cardinals +4.5 against the Giants. Under of the week, under 51.5 for Kansas City at Jacksonville. And over of the week, Seattle at Detroit.
Gotcha. Okay. Best bet one, Green Bay Packers. I think, what are they now?
+110.
Oh yeah, +110.
+100.
Green Bay Packers essentially pick them. Best bet number 2, Denver Broncos -3.5. Dog of the week, Pittsburgh +2.5. And my over-under play of the week, we are going with the Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers over.
Okay. All right, Money Mansmann. Potential corporation parlay. Get a load of this. New Orleans Saints to win under 40 points. Pittsburgh Steelers money line, Packers money line. Same game parlay plus 13-1 odds.
All right, let's do it. Lock it up.
Lock it up. Let's do it. All right. All right. Degents, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify. Check out producer John's YouTube channel as well, Harbor Discussions, for hardcore local interviews. Money Mansmann, as always, a pleasure. I will see you Sunday, sir. Any final remarks before we sign off?
Yeah, of course. One final remark. Make that motherfucking money, everybody.
A fucking men. Have a good night, Degents.
Have a good night.